All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. We are joined for another AMA on the Pythagoras AMA community here. Really excited to hear from the ZIBU team. We're not hearing from one team member, but three of the core team members today. I'm joined by the likes of Cypher, Alan DeFi, Crypto Knight. I'm going to hand it over to them pretty soon here to give an official introduction. But I did just want to say, really excited about this. Been following ZIBU for a little bit now, actually. You guys have awesome design. I love the utility, the fact that you're getting access to be paid in BUSD just for holding. I'm sure there's a lot more that we're going to learn about today as well. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to the core team.
Hello, guys. Firstly, I would like to start off by saying thank you to the Pythagoras community for having us. Thank you, Adam, for hosting. My name is Kyle, but in this space, I am known as Kryptonite. The project that we will be presenting to you guys today is called ZIBU. That is spelled ZIBU. But before we present the project, I would like to give you guys just a bit of background information about myself and the team. This team consists of highly skilled individuals that have each separately and collectively been a part of multi-million-dollar companies. Our backgrounds vary from marketing to developing, graphic design, coding, and a plethora of other skills. We have a great deal of experience in the crypto space specifically. First, by being heavy investors, and then secondly, by releasing our own project. The first project that we released is a project called Zeta. Zeta was released on, I always forget, November the 18th, 2021. With Zeta, we were able to kind of establish ourselves and become a household name. Actually, just last month, we passed our 1-year anniversary. And this is an accomplishment that we're extremely proud of because, as many of you know, in this space, that is something that is not easily attained. But this is always something that we kind of strive for. So reaching that has, definitely given us a nice check off for us on the list. With Zeta, we were able to reach $18 million market cap. We paid out over $3 million to our holders. Somewhere, I believe it's approximately like $30 million in volume, trending on various platforms. Top gainers on CoinMarketCap spent hundreds of thousands of marketing. And we even went outside of crypto and took our efforts to Vegas with billboards and taxis in an attempt to gain even more exposure. Because of the success with Zeta, we were able to develop very great relationships in this space, and even outside. These relationships have allowed us to extend our reach even further and also grow and strengthen our team. The experience that we've gained from releasing a successful project has given us, I would say, like a very strong and solid foundation. And so because of that foundation, today we can introduce ZIBU. So let me explain to you what ZIBU is. In short, ZIBU is a multifunctional cryptocurrency that introduces the power of hyperreflections coupled with the next generation of gaming. By magnifying the idea of rewards, ZIBU offers a reward system that we believe is tailor-made for both short and long-term investors. Through the lens of ZIBU, we begin to see earning possibilities heightened. At least that's how we feel. And ultimately, it's this culmination of automatic rewards and cutting-edge gaming, which we believe will create an immersive experience for investors to build their portfolio while simultaneously earning from multiple streams. So allow me to explain how it works. Every buy and sell of ZIBU incurs a set amount of tax. So a portion of those taxes, being 5%, will be converted into BUSD and then redistributed to ZIBU holders through our automated system. Upon purchase, ZIBU holders can expect to receive BUSD almost instantly. The way that it works is the more ZIBU you own, the more BUSD you receive. If you take your rewards and buy more ZIBU, you will in turn increase your BUSD rewards, which will increase your chances of becoming a ZIBU billionaire. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are asking what and why would you want to become a ZIBU billionaire? Well, by becoming a ZIBU billionaire, you will gain access to the last man standing wallet. This is actually a component that we introduced to the space and something that we became pretty popular for. This is our second reward system that we offer to our diamond holders in addition to the recession-proof BUSD reward. As an LMS holder, investors will receive additional rewards to go along with those BUSD rewards. For the additional rewards, we have implemented a system called Volt. That is VOLT, which stands for Voters Only Loyalty Treasury. Through this, investors will be able to vote for their choice of token from a list of the best tokens available. This special reserve it's unique because it's held for 7 days and released every Friday to our LMS holders. So by not selling or transferring your tokens for that 7-day period, you will secure a slot in that week's payout. If for some reason a holder decides to sell or transfer their tokens during that week, he or she will be disqualified from that payout, but can re-enter the next week. Through Volt, our community gets to control the path that these rewards take. We believe with this structure, we have created a rewarding system that is recession-proof, but also bull run ready. To us, ZIBU is the ultimate hybrid portfolio builder. We believe this project can be that one-stop shop for all your token needs. Now, on top of the reflection aspect, allow me to touch on the gaming side briefly. This project has been in development for at least 6 months. I'm sure the people that have been aware of us building would probably say even longer, and we probably forget time just because we've been so immersed. But with this game, we are aiming to have 28 levels. These levels will consist of 7 different worlds, each having 4 levels that the user must complete in order to advance. With gaming, there are many facets a team must explore if the aim is to create something of value. During these months of development, we focus very heavily on what I would call the discovery stage, which consists of mapping out concepts, defining the storyline, solidifying the game's visual style, various rigging for X amount of characters, what else? Customizing 3D models, animations, and even intricately defining the texture resolution. So what I would like to do is hop over to your screen and show the website. That way people can get a better glimpse into the detail, and then we can show even more of what to expect. So could we actually reopen it, Adam, please?
Yeah, I definitely can. I'll just refresh.
Perfect. Yeah, I just think with our website, we aim to give like an example of what it should feel like when you enter our world. And it's kind of through this portal where we teleport to Ashi Island. There we go. So cool. Can you scroll down?
Sure can.
Okay. And so this is kind of what happens. ZIBU is actually a wolf. We have seen a few people say, "Oh, I love this cute dog," and I think it's the cute aspect. I think it's the cute aspect that people kind of resonate with. You know, instantly we just kind of go to a dog in that way just because of his small stature. But when you read the lore and we give more details about the story, you will understand his size, the reasoning for his size, and how. You know, he would technically be an unlikely hero just based on the size, but that's kind of like times in life that you have to find heart. And with this character, he became an example for us. We've been working very, very hard on this project and all the projects that we had before. What I think we've been able to see is not only does it take great ideas, but it takes dedication. And I believe that our community and the people that get to know us know that that is kind of what we are here for. We've sacrificed our time and our effort. We wanted to just always bring a certain level of quality. And with quality, sometimes it just takes time. You get to see kind of like really what you're made of during a bear market, right? When it's a bull run and everyone's excited, it's pretty easy to kind of just continue to move along and continue to build. But it's these times where you get to kind of see who your team is, see who you are as a person, and see what you're going to be doing, and what you're trying to prepare for the great times that are to come. And so this bear market, we got to show that look at what we can do and look at what we do during a bear market. Imagine what happens during a bull market. Yes, please continue to scroll down.
Definitely can. Let me just stop you real quick, just
Okay.
on one point. Is this the same like artist that you had for level design as your old project Zeta? Because this is I've never seen pixel art like this in like a metaverse type environment. This is really good.
Thank you so much, Adam. No, this is a completely different. The core team is kind of always at the helm of all of the designs that we do, all of the concepts and ideas. But as I was saying earlier, we have been able to branch out even further with this project and make the team even stronger and have more skill sets than what we had originally. So completely different. And thank you. And thank you for the compliment as well. On top of that, I guess maybe can you scroll up a little bit one more time? So what we tend to see oftentimes with voxel games is a character tends to be a little bit more rigid. The way that we approach ZIBU is he's very fluid in his movement, right? We looked at this character, we looked at this world as creating our version of Toy Story, our version of the next big Pixar movie. And so when you see, I think we released so far, we released a teaser video, but his movement is very, he's just fluid in his movement. So his abilities inside of this game will be, different or maybe unlike what we see with the other rigid voxel games. We looked at the Crash Bandicoots, we looked at the Marios, and we felt that with this game, this generation needed their version of that. So that's kind of how we approached it.
Excellent. I think it's going to pay off because, yeah, that fluidity speaks to brand, speaks to storytelling. You don't want that rigidity, right? You want something fluid. Like most people, might think it's a dog, but like you said, as people learn the story, they'll understand kind of like that hero in the making type of story that's being built out. And I'm sure people will feel really attached to the main character here. So I actually really like that approach you guys took.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we worked on a long time on that, but that was the key. And sometimes people who don't build games don't really know the difference. Some of those small details I think I like to point at because it's some of those things that we believe that will define our game and make it completely different and unique. Just with the rigid, there's just a certain way. There's a limitation of how you have to, or how you rig the character. We wanted to make sure that ZIBU could do all sorts of things in this game, and we loved the voxel style, but didn't want to kind of boxed ourselves in. And it's kind of funny because, that's kind of like an oxymoron because voxel is based on boxes, but that's kind of how we approach it and how we thought about it. It's like think outside of the box, right? but literally,
but also stay within them in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah. What's funny, Adam?
Go ahead.
What's funny, Adam, is I've always said this. I've said this for a long time. I think that the idea of thinking outside the box is too vague, right? So there's an example that I always use when I'm thinking about creating. I like to put myself in a box, right? So for an example, if I say, hey, Adam, I need you to draw a painting, but the only tools that you have available to you is this pot with dirt in it, and you have a flower that's coming out. You have no drawing utensils. You have so you're limited. But at that point, your brain is going to think of different ways to how you can cover the canvas. And for me, immediately I'm going to grab that dirt, maybe spit in my hands, put it together, and now I have this brown color that I can use. And then I'm gonna, grab the green parts and rub it against the floor to make that a little bit different. And now I can put those together. So that's kind of just how our team approaches various things. We're always trying to just bring something a little bit new or completely different, if possible.
Yeah, no, I can tell just by your intention and the way you're like expressing visually and creating that image in all the listeners' minds. We're having a different conversation than what I'm used to, which is refreshing. So, so I'll leave it to you now that we've explored more of the artistic side, the reasoning behind what we're seeing visually here. If you could maybe steer it a little bit in the direction of, can you expand on the almost the DeFi side of things, right? The investment side, the reflections, also this LMS model. You gave us a little bit about it, but I think the underlying question here, if I'm an investor, is, yeah, but every time I invest in these things that give reflections or they're giving like these rewards, it's always inflationary and the token price always goes down. Can you just kind of like elucidate that a little bit and give some assurances of why that's not the case?
Definitely. Okay, so if you can for me, can you click the menu at the top left?
Sure.
And then let's touch on Volt, please.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit.
God, this front end development is fantastic. This website's so good.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, Adam.
It's good work.
Thank you. Let's go down just a little bit further. Okay, so this is the payment cycle. I think oftentimes, like you said, those are questions in investors' mind. I think we, because of our other project, we do have that resume that we can point to. Definitely, you as an investor, you have to understand that prices will go up, prices will go down. We're seeing it with Bitcoin, we're seeing it with Ethereum, Cardano, and we will see it with ZIBU. But I think people will see value in this project and value in what it is that we're trying to bring. The LMS is a great tool that we have. Our last project, the first week, I believe it was upwards of $60,000 to $80,000, somewhere in that ballpark, and it continued for various weeks. So the payout for our investors who invested, they were receiving in reflections some as high as $5,000 per week, or some as like depending on your investment and your amount of investment. The LMS is a strong. It kind of creates our floor. And people knowing that they can count on this passive income makes people hold, and we give them a reason to hold because of how generous we're aiming to be with the rewards.
So if I can ask you just one question, you said that the last project was Zeta, right? So I'm again, I could definitely be wrong here, but I think I found it on Deck Screener, and I just wanted to make sure what is the connection between Zeta and what we have here with ZIBU, right? Like, did people get whitelist access? Did they get airdrop tokens? Is there no connection at all? I just ask because looking at the chart here, I know the chart isn't everything, but in this case, it's actually beneficial. Even right now, the chart is still higher than where the last project launched at, which is great to see. I always like to see at least some trends of what was done in the past versus what is done now. I do see that looks like liquidity was removed. I'm assuming to probably jumpstart this project. But if you could just maybe explain that, and then also how do the community members from the old community integrate into this one, if at all?
Okay. Can you scroll down?
Yes, definitely.
Perfect. So yes, that is correct. The way that it works is this entire when we first started out to build this project, it was we aimed to build an ecosystem, right? A lot of times people may have a plan to do something, and things go left, or teams don't stick to it. We wanted to make sure that we were able to do this. So before we even had a Zeta, we created an ecosystem. And the difficulty with that is sometimes when you have multiple projects, people say, oh, you're focusing on this project or you're focusing on that project a little bit more than the other. They're under the same umbrella, but they're completely different projects. The way that they're connected is this section here is through the chain. So our LMS holders have been extremely dedicated. They have supported. They have held the floor. They have believed during during bear markets. For that, we've always said that because of that, we appreciate that, and we would make sure that LMS holders had the ability to gain access to our other projects via an airdrop and getting a whitelist spot. Right? We're always aiming to try to give back, and that's why we were able to give the $3 million back in reflections to our holders. Regarding the liquidity, that is correct. It was used to build this project and continue the ecosystem moving forward.
Excellent. That was a good answer. Usually when I ask that question, people people stumble and they're like, "Well, I don't know. We had a full liquidity or something." But that was a very good answer, and also fair as well. So going into the actual launch here, we can see pre-sale starts in a little over a day. 450 BNB is, it looks like, a hard cap, I imagine. Yeah, soft cap of 225. So given that this is a traditional pre-sale, does that mean that you also had a private sale, or it's just starting from here forward, starting tomorrow?
So thank you for clarifying that. I definitely didn't want to miss that. So again, we have always stressed becoming an LMS holder just creates so many benefits, right? And I can't stress and I can't thank the LMS holders enough, because what people don't understand sometimes in this space is that not only do you need a dedicated team, but you also need a dedicated community. You need people that believe in you, believe in your vision, are willing to stick it out during the difficult times. Our LMS holders have definitely done that. They have stood by our side. They have fought with us. They have allowed us to build. They have been understanding. So we did do a private sale, and that was only for LMS holders. We raised 150 BNB, again, giving them just an option to get into the project before other investors. So we did a 150 BNB. I believe max allocation was 2. We had 88 contributors, and now we're going to be moving forward with our pre-sale, which will be 450 BNB, max allocation 2.
Okay, so that's a fair max buy. I like that. a good min buy, of course, as well. So you're letting in smaller investors, a little bit bigger investors that are invested, but you're not opening the floodgates too wide to where there's whales that are created right from onset, which is good. Now, I didn't see it, but in case I missed it, is there a lock for those 150 BNB from those 88 contributors for the private sale? I didn't see one here, but also it's hard to tell because that was a private sale. Looks like there. Well, no, actually, it does look like there is some sort of lock here. 12.6. Can you maybe explain that as I look it up?
Yes. So what was very difficult to do. Sometimes some projects, I think with ZIBU, I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this, but in order to do the ZIBU, you cannot give or release those tokens for a certain amount of time. Because the LMS is so important and so crucial to our project, if we held those tokens and didn't give our investors the option to having those tokens at launch, they could miss out on that first week's LMS payout. We did not want to do that. We didn't want to basically give them something by rewarding them and then taking it away and saying, hey, you can expect to get this a month later. So those will be unlocked before. But I strongly believe that the community that we have and the people that have been here before, they know the value of the LMS payout at the end of the week. So I believe that we will have a solid floor. I don't think, and that's what we were hoping too, even with going to new communities, we understand that, sometimes people just want to do a 2X and a 3X and a 4X or whatever it may be. We're trying to build something here. And this is another reason why we are really grateful to our LMS holders, because they understand that it's not just about a 2X or a 3X. You have companies like Axie Infinity that taken X amount of years to get to the point that they've gotten to, but look at where they got to. This takes hard work and it takes dedication, and we just wanted to show and prove to our people that we're one of the teams that is actually trying to build something. So we always trying to give back to our community. Always. That's the reason why our mainstay of our project is rewards.
Excellent. Well, it definitely shows. And just to dwell a little bit longer here, words are fantastic, but obviously people want to see proof, especially in the landscape we're in within crypto. So with that being in mind, since we do have some data, since we do have a past for this project in a very successful past, launch, can you give us some insight into what these holders, what their dynamics might be like? More specifically, how did Zeta fare at open? Did people hold the token? It sounds like they did, but if you can give a little insight into what the dynamics there were when you were first building the community and some of those people that might be coming into this community.
Okay, for sure. So I think first week, we sold out a pre-sale 41 seconds. At that time, it was 600 BNB that we were raising, and I believe BNB was around at 600. So we sold that out. Yeah, the good old days, right? We sold that out. We sold that out pretty fast, and then we kind of immediately took off. We went to about $2 million market cap, and then we did kind of come back a little bit. I think we came down a little bit from a few people selling. And just, some people who just heard about the project, saw how fast that we were kind of taking off and wanted to get that 2X. After we came back down, we immediately shot up. And it kind of just like kept trailing up to that $18 million market cap. So a lot of our investors are in the green, right? Some people, of course, bought at the top, but a lot of people were, immediately were able to, just by reflections, like that's why we gave so much. Like projects seem, and in our experience, projects are not giving enough, which will of course make people need and want to sell. It's if there's no other way to gain income from that project, which we understand everyone is trying to benefit, whether it's short term or long term. If there's nothing to get back, then you're not going to hold that project. I mean, you're not going to hold that token. So this is where reflections come into play, where we believe that very quickly people are able to realize their investment just off of reflections, which then, allows people to hold on.
So with that in mind, why do a pink sale launch? Why not just self-host?
We felt that it was comfortable for other people too. On top of that, we have a great relationship with Saul being our advisor on this project. Great. But again, we also wanted to go down a very similar path, and we just know that it's a comfortable place for people to go to, and people can trust. We're KYC, we're audited, we're doxed, the whole nine. So we know that we have that community that support us, but there's people who haven't had a chance to get to know the team, and we just wanted to give them a platform that they're familiar with to be able to go to and go through.
Yeah, it's a good answer. I say that as a big advocate of Pink Sale. I'm really close to Saul and all the advisors there, but I just like to play devil's advocate because, again, I don't want my biases to influence anyone here. So I got to ask, I mean, you have the community, you had a successful raise, you could have just raised on your own site, but you're absolutely correct. The environment is completely different here, right? People don't know. They don't trust you because they don't know you yet, right? People are learning right now about your community and in recording as well when they listen to this and other AMAs. So that's a very smart route. It's going through Pink Sale, trusted third party. They have no hand in your success or not success as far as, your actions, but they can control the security side of it much more. So that's great, man. Okay, cool. So we kind of talked about high level the art, a little bit on the story behind the why statement, the differentiating features here. We talked about the tokenomics as well. It looks like starting market cap. I'm sure it'll probably be beyond this as success builds, but 223,000, a little over 223,000. That's pretty damn low for a project that's had quite a success streak in past projects. So that's pretty bullish, man. And from what you told me, and correct me if I'm wrong, this LMS is going to be opened up pretty shortly after launch, right? You're going to be able to start getting those rewards pretty quickly.
Correct.
Awesome. So with that in mind, and I wanted to make sure I'm understanding correctly because I might not be. Again, this is new to me, just like it's new to everyone here. With that LMS, which again is last man standing wallet, you have to qualify for that as well. So you have to be a ZIBU millionaire, right? But billionaire. Once you have that, a billionaire, there we even better. Let's be like Bezos, right? But with ZIBU. So with that in mind. Maybe I just skipped over this, but are those rewards in are you getting them in ZIBU, or are you getting them in other tokens? I'm assuming other tokens based on what the community wants, because I'm seeing different things here, but can you expand a little bit on that?
Definitely. So I'm pretty sure before launch, it could be a day or 2 days after it's completely done and built, but through our dashboard, which will be our hub where you can find out about, your tokens, about the LMS wallet, how much has been accumulated over the days. You can use our calculator, etc. But with our dashboard, our community will, if you are an LMS holder, you will vote. You will vote for the token of choice. By voting, you have a selection of 10 possible tokens, which you can see here in this picture, from Bitcoin to Uniswap to XRP, etc. You can vote on the token that you want to get, and every single week it can change depending on the votes.
Nice. That's a really cool, almost like a hybrid DAO type of situation, but more active. So I love that. And hey, I am getting a few people. We have a lot of people commenting on the on the thread here. A lot of people really like this conversation. Something that's coming up as a theme for multiple people is they're like, "Damn, cool AMA, but taxes are a little high. They're not super comfortable. They're really liking the low taxes of like some recent projects. Is there any maybe low tax events that are coming up? Is there anything that you can maybe foresee happening at launch or afterwards that can kind of quell some of those thoughts?
Actually, that's a great question, and the team is actually talking. We believe that we have a surprise, but I can't release that yet. there's a couple things for sure. There's you will see in the roadmap there's something called a high voltage. And it's something that we are able to implement to make sure that again, we just keep rewarding our community. And then we understand the reasoning for the pushback on taxes. What we try to explain is, I hope this doesn't come off as wrong, but you have these projects, you have certain projects that say, hey, we're offering 5%. And we try not to just look at what's current and just look at the trend. If we were focused on just the trend, we would never go this hard or fight this much or build this strongly if it was just based on a trend, right? We don't see a lot of team members that are trying to do anything. They're promising everything and providing nothing. The websites aren't really much of anything. They're not trying to bring something new to the table. So we ask, and we ask people to not just look at the current market and say, hey, this person over here is charging 5%. We're saying, let's find actual comparables. We want to build. We're on top of building. We want to give, and we're gonna need those funds to be able to take this to where we want to take it. So that's the honest reason for the taxes. It's not just to tax people. We're building something here that is going to take a lot of effort from the team and a lot of funds to get to the level that we want to get to. So we hope that the rewards that we're paying back to our community, I mean, when you even look at the taxes, the bulk of it is going to the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very true. You got to be able to pay for these things. They don't come for free, so they have to come from somewhere. So what might as well tie that into expansion of the project and let it scale in that way. As long as you guys are responsible with, selling any tokens that need to be sold eventually for development, or making sure that things are done fairly and equitably, which it looks like they are based on the allocations for the taxes, then it's no problem. I think where people get a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to taxes is we're double-digit tax now, 10-15%. Majority is going towards marketing and development. It's not actually adding much to LP, and people just see the token go down and down and down and down. And like you said, nothing happens. That's why, for me, I was excited about this, because I know you guys have a past history of success. That's not enough. Sometimes teams will just hang their hat on that and then hope that that's enough. You guys have a really quality project here, man. I mean, this website alone is just exciting. What I would love to see, and my ask of you, I know you might not be able to share it, but when can we get like a demo or like an MVP? It's not playable, but just like, something that we can kind of see that we would actually be able to interact with when it's ready.
I don't want to give that date just yet, but what I will say is we will be releasing a beta version to LMS holders first. Nice. Right? And they will be able to get a sneak peek into what this is and what it's becoming. Like I said, we're talking 6 months plus in building and developing this project. So we have made some nice strides so far. But where we want to take it is just like, I can't, like, sometimes, like, when I'm like, this team and myself, we're just extremely passionate about everything that we do. And so we hope that, like, when we present these things, like, people can see, like, we're not going to give you, our community, we aren't going to present ourselves in a way where we're just going to just put out some BS. If we're going to do it, it is going to be high level. Like, that's one thing you can guarantee from us. If we are going to do it, we're going to take it very seriously, or we just won't touch it. And we have no problem not touching things. But the things that we touch, we want to compete with whoever's out there. And we mean no disrespect. If it's Axie Infinity or whoever, we want to be the best.
I love that. That's confident, but not cocky. Favorite combination. All right, man. Well, you did it. You did a fantastic job, by the way. Honestly, I don't usually say this. In fact, I almost never say this. But this would be something that I would highly consider getting into. There's only been a couple projects that I've done that for. I won't name drop here, but one of them was building a zero fee blockchain that happened a little bit ago, and they've done very well. This is another one that I would highly consider. That is not an endorsement, by the way. Still want to stay impartial here, but that does say that anyone that likes what they see here, join the community, read that, read what's on the website, ask those questions. From what I've seen, not only are these guys everywhere, which by the way, we didn't even get into marketing. Maybe we can get that in the wrap up, but I've even seen you guys on Twitter. I don't know, like you guys got a whole army of people like shouting from the rooftop about ZIBU. I've seen like a bunch of stuff like and just comments everywhere. Like you guys are everywhere. So I love to see that, and I love to see the energy. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to a couple questions. I have one text question that I picked out randomly, and then we're going to open up to 2 live questions. From there, I'm going to be randomly selecting the 10 whitelist spots that your team was so gracious in giving. We're definitely excited to give those away. I kind of want to keep one for myself, but I won't. All of them will be visible. Don't worry. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start those questions now. We'll go ahead and jump into the first one here. God of Fortune
Adam,
001 asks. Oh, good.
hey guys, Adam, hi. So sorry
Karan,
to,
hey.
barge in on your AMA. Hey, Kryptonite, how are you guys doing?
Hey, Karan.
Hey, good. I just wanted to quickly just, take a minute or two and just add in on a little bit, what I heard going on. Let me just, I'm going to take a couple of minutes just to tell you a little bit about the team and what I've noticed. So, of course, like, everyone knows I'm helping with the marketing for the project and stuff. However, the team is so determined in terms of their overall, motto of, under promise and over deliver. I mean, to the point, till the point that the website was to do, was due to release. Even for me, they had kept it around for 2 days prior. They told me that, Karan, finally we are ready. We're going to show you the website and take a look and see what we've done, what not. So they like to keep things under wrap. They want to make sure that they're not selling any false promises to the communities. One of the major reasons which why I really like the project. And also, when the website was out, I was like, damn, they've got something going on here. So the team is very passionate. I'm not even going to get to the part wherein they've been online 24/7, building on the project, building on the things that they could do better. The amount of, things that they have going on, the games that they play with the community, and then, just the organic following that the team has overall. Also making sure that they are loyal and legit to the existing, even the previous community and stuff. It speaks volumes. And just to wrap it up, the point being that there are very few projects that you see that are there for the long term. A couple of things that the team just told me as soon as we started is that Karan, how do we make sure that we let the community know that we want to do this for the long term. They were not even interested about a couple of weeks or a month or two what is happening in the DeFi space, but they were like, Karan, we're very committed. We're pulling 18-20 hours every single day, and we're going to make sure that we are here 6 months down the line, a year down the line, and people see what is happening with the project. So a few things I just wanted to take a time out and then highlight, just to let everyone know that this is a group of people which we rarely see, and they're very committed towards what they're trying to deliver. And the website looks amazing, but also there is a lot of dedication, hard work, and passion behind the scenes which is happening, which I pretty much see every single day because I talk to the team every day. But yeah, I mean, some certain things that make these guys stand out are these. And also, just to conclude, on the part of the game and interaction part, trust me, the time is going to be launched. It's when no one expects it, but that is how this team is. That they'll just pull on these surprises for the communities, and that's what is really amazing. Especially even considering this market, they're doing a lot of good things, which are the right things to do for the project and for the community. So I'm not gonna take more time, but yeah, some of these things were important. I feel that everyone should know behind the scenes what is happening with the team too. And yeah, I mean, and it's a completely unbiased opinion because I'm not invested into the project in any way, nor I'm going to be holding any tokens. It's just purely from what I'm seeing from that team is what I'm just sharing here with the community.
Hey, Karan, thank you. From the wizard himself. Appreciate that
Thank you.
viewpoint. And again, uh, it's something Karan and I are good friends, right? And like we share projects that we're like, oh, they're doing something different. This was right at the top of the list. So again, is that a direct endorsement? Heck no, right? But it is an invite to go check it out yourself. There's something being done different here. The team is enthusiastic. They have a history of success, and they actually want to do good by their community. You should let that speak for itself and have that be a jumping off point for further investigation. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into that question. So God of Fortune 001 asks, for the NFTs, is there any interoperability use case in which NFTs could be in multiple chains or used in any game or metaverse? Could a miner acquire a vehicle or house using your platform? So basically, what he's asking is, what if any NFT utility is going to be in the game, and if there is any, is it going to be multi-chain or be able to be used in any other way? I think that's being asked because this is a metaverse. You have a lot of good iconography and graphics. Is this something that will be exported as well to NFTs?
We definitely have plans for NFTs for sure. I don't want to go into detail about it just yet, but definitely 100%.
I like that. I mean, it'd be a dang shame if you didn't, because the artwork's absolutely fantastic. So it's perfect. So, alrighty. Well, that was a good question there. We're gonna go ahead and turn it over to the live section. You guys know the drill. Raise your hand. I'm gonna randomly select some people to ask your question. We're gonna only do 2, and to be fair, if you stay till the end, you will be entered in to win those 10 whitelist spots. I'm going to try to pick some new people so that way everyone gets a fair shot here, because I know I've been getting DM after DM after DM. Hey, I want a whitelist. Hey, I want a whitelist. I don't choose them that way. I choose randomly because I want to be as fair as possible. So, all right, let's go ahead and choose the first person to ask your question on VC. Let's go with someone that I haven't heard from. Let's go with David Opaz. David Opaz. I'm going to allow you to speak. Just as a reminder, you're going to have to unmute yourself again. Yep, you did it right there. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Adam. Okay, my question is, how do you plan to maintain the ecosystem of ZIBU? Because you see a lot of play to earn these days are collapsing, not gonna lie, but your strategy in tokenomics is really awesome. I like the rewards and the tax on it. I don't mind the tax. But aside from that, how will you sustain the stability of the ecosystem of ZIBU in the long run?
I think the simplest answer for that, David, is to keep building, right? What we see from a lot of teams or a lot of projects in this space is there's a cap. Even when they begin development, they're not really thinking about a long-term approach. So if you're thinking short-term, there's no way to prepare for long-term. Everything that we do is with the idea of getting well beyond a pre-sale, a private sale, 30x. Those aren't really just our goals. 100% we're grateful for it, but we're trying to build things. That's where our joy comes from. So I think the simple answer for that, David, is to keep building and keep providing something for the community. We've always said that if the success of our projects is based on us, then we're going to be successful because we're going to do our job. Every single day, we're going to work. Like, that's all we want to do. We don't care about anything else much. Like, we just want to work and we want to build things, and we get really excited. Like, the joy that we're filled with when we complete this, I don't even know if there's a money amount that can give us the same feeling. It's seeing this. Like, we know ZIBU didn't exist. This is built from scratch. There's no assets that we grab. Like, this didn't exist before we thought of it. So for us, I think it's the simple answer, David, is to try to keep building, and hopefully that with this project, we find a very similar type of community that believe in us, that believe in this process, and want to hold with us. But for us, it's building.
Thank you so much, sir. But lastly, I want to compliment the idea of this project. It's really great. I love it. That's why I'm so curious about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David.
Awesome. Now, I wanted to ask you real quick, Kryptonite and the team, um, if someone doesn't get a whitelist spot from this AMA, right? Which unfortunately there'll be a few people that don't, right? We can't give out 1 million of them. If someone doesn't get one here, but they join your Telegram, is there a chance they can maybe pick one up, or are those all accounted for?
So I would definitely say today is definitely going to be the last day, obviously, because we're launching tomorrow. But if you come to our room, you can fill out the sweep widget. The sweep widget will be the entries, the people that participate will be selected randomly. So we definitely don't want people thinking that if you just now come in, you won't have a chance because there were people who filled out sweep widget before. It is not going to work like that. It is going to be completely random. So we ask that you first fill out the sweep widget, and then our mods will be hosting various games today, probably even more than they have in the past. There are only a small select few of the whitelist games that are the whitelist spots that are available for games. I believe we may have, 12 or 10 or so, which we'll be giving out today and maybe tomorrow morning. But those are the two options.
Awesome. It sounds like your TG is going to be blowing up with some activity, so I'd love to hear that. All right, last question. Let's go ahead and get this last question, and then we're going to start selecting some whitelist winners. I'm going to do those in private, though. I'm going to just select them, and I'm going to let Pythagoras break the good news, so stay tuned for that. But going to want to stay till the end. That's when I'm selecting them. All right, last question. I'm going to close my eyes here and scroll. Let's see who we land on. Okay. Tribal Chief. Tribal Chief, gonna allow you to speak. You might get lost in the mix here. Nope, I see you. Cool. Go ahead and ask your question to the team, please, and then we'll move on to the whitelist. And again, just as a little reminder, Tribal, you're gonna want to unmute. You still have to unmute even after I've unmuted you. While we're waiting for him, just a little reminder, this is a great time to join their TG, investigate a little further. Again, no matter what you hear here, it's not financial advice. You probably already know that from every other project you've been in, but especially with a high quality project, there's probably going to be some big investments. There's probably going to be, up to and maybe even multiple wallets of 2BNB contributions that people are going to be doing. So take your time, do your due diligence, and decide for yourself it's a good investment. But again, you have a little bit of time, right? So you have time to join the TG. You have a little bit over a day to get ready, get your wallet connected, and ready for this fair launch. But from what I've seen, pretty good. He answered some of the harder questions as well, which I appreciate, but I'm sure there'll be more that people have on their mind. But anyways, going to go back
Hey,
to
can you guys hear me?
Tribal. Yep, I can hear you now. Go ahead and ask your question. Yep, go ahead, Tribal.
Can you hear me?
I sure can. Go ahead, man.
All right. So I don't know if you've noticed, but people are really talking about your high taxes, and that's the reason for these AMAs, knowing what the community have in mind, have to say. So how do you plan on taking the community decisions and putting them in place and trying to educate them why some things are like that? I don't know if you understand what I mean. If you go to the comment section, people just saying high taxes and all. So do you plan on, working on this?
Yes. So Adam asked this question a little bit earlier, but I can definitely re-answer. So the taxes, with the breakdown of the taxes, as you can see in the tokenomics, we were saying earlier that the bulk of it is going back to the community. The reason why we try to take in the opinion of everyone. That's what we've always done. But we also try to make sure that it is clear that we aren't necessarily trying to be the other projects, because we know that we are actually offering more. We are giving more to our community, not just through the reflections, but also through the quality of what we're trying to bring here. So We do have a few things, a few surprises that we will be releasing to kind of like give back even more. And then, we have a few things, but I don't want to give it away because I don't want people to try to plan for when these things will happen. But we do have some times where maybe it could be a little bit more in favor of, or a little bit more generous for the community as far as taxes. But we made sure that the taxes coming in was cheaper than the taxes going out, and we wanted to attract long-term holders, right? Maybe if someone is just thinking about flipping this project, they would have to definitely consider the tax. And we're not running away from that. We hope that that's a consideration because we want to build something long-term here.
Yeah, that was a great reminder for everyone. We did. Oh, go ahead. Did you have another piece there, Treble?
Yeah. To your play to earn. So on the withdrawal method, do we need to reach a sort of amount before we withdraw what we earn?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that question completely. I don't.
Yeah. So go ahead, Treble. Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying you guys have a play to earn, right? So we are going to be earning through your play to earn. So I'm just asking if there's any sort of period where we can withdraw what we earn, or we have to wait for a certain period of time to withdraw what we earn.
Got you. We haven't released that information yet, Tribal.
Oh, okay, all right.
All righty. Well, definitely a good little reminder as to why they structured the things the way they did. A little bit of a teaser as well of what could be coming. I actually like that there's not. Sometimes I see projects they'll put it on the roadmap where they'll say, "Oh, tax-free event coming on this day, on this day." That's counterintuitive. People just wait till that day. So it's better to have constant buy pressure if you're doing marketing correctly, if you're more importantly having feature releases in a timely way. I did just want to ask, what are we looking at as far as, and this will be the last question just from me personally, what are we looking at as far as marketing allocation, like in dollars projected for after launch marketing to continue to get the word out here?
Like with our last project, like I was saying, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the word out. We're spending a lot of money even now to get the money to get the word out, but we definitely plan to continue that. We're hoping that people see ZIBU not just in crypto. We're hoping that very soon people will start to understand and see that yes, this is a game. But if you are thinking about this being limited to crypto, then you will be very surprised. So that is going to take some funds for both inside crypto marketing and outside. We're trying to bridge the gap between people that have wallets and people that don't, and we're hoping that through this game, this is how we're going to bring people into crypto.
Well, if there was an answer that could get you more excited about cross-marketing and bridging into new areas, I think that's the one. When we think of artwork, immediately I think of, something that could be maybe like a Netflix character, something that could be like a mini series character that's taking us through the adventure and then has some tie into, a QR code to link to the website and DApp and teaches you how to do things, right? Like, I'm not on the project, but immediately my mind starts just percolating ideas of how I would do this, how I would try to approach and bridge that. So I can only imagine with you guys having the experience and having such a great foundation for artistic representation for your characters and world design. I mean, that's exciting. So what I would say, and I'm going to turn it over to you to final words. What I would say is, if this excites you, I can only imagine as the team delivers what that'll look like and actually having it come to fruition. So I'm going to hand it over to you and the rest of the team to kind of wrap things up and do a final invite, and then we'll go ahead and close things out.
Awesome. Adam, I was worried that you were giving out a little information there. You said some specific names, and I'm thinking, hey, I'm like, Cypher or Alan DeFi, have you guys talked to Adam by any chance?
I'm not leaking anything.
Good guess, huh?
Yeah, very good guess. Very good guess. Yeah, we're definitely having these type of talks, Adam. But again, like Karan said, I think sometimes we probably may not under deliver, but under sell maybe, because we just understand how important it is for us being a part of the team to just make sure that when we say something, our community knows that it is 100% going to happen or it has happened. So I'll use an example, a quick example. I would love to have said, hey, PooCoin ads is going to be out a couple days ago, but because of the way that our banners were created, there's this flashing section that definitely brings the attention to our banner, but it also could could cause people that have certain conditions to react. So we had to make some adjustments with that. So if I were to tell the community, hey, this is dropping on this day, we just learned in crypto there's so many things that happen at very last minute, and we just want to make sure that when we bring it to you, we can guarantee that it's dropping on this day, this time, and that way we can always keep that long-term trust with our community. So we have so many things planned, and we have so many things that we want to share. And very soon we believe that we will be able to, but until we get final dates, we just try to keep it close to our chest. But I want to say first, thank you, Adam, for hosting us. This was a great conversation that we had. Thank you, Pythagoras, for allowing us to be this is our first AMA that we've done for this project. So thank you for being the first for us, and thank you for supporting us. And we hope that everyone who's been here, who are able to listen to the AMA, we hope that you can come over to the ZIBU Telegram room. If not, and we also ask that you check out the website. Please do research. We love when people read. We don't mind the questions. We welcome questions. We just ask that everyone just live with this project, because it was months that it took for us to build it, and we want people to be as informed about the project as we are. We spent a lot of time with writing. We spent a lot of time with developing. So we ask that you read and try to become as informed as possible. We're available. We're here. We're doxed. We are in the chat. You can reach out to us. And thank you for having us again, Adam. Appreciate it.
Well, it's been a true pleasure. The passion reverberates through your words, your actions, and thoughtfulness in design of this project from top to bottom. I just wanted to add one little thing that might have just solidified my further interest in this, maybe for other people as well. Very subtle too, but I like that it was there. Just the fact that you said you went back to the drawing board on PooCoin ads because of possible impact to people who might suffer from like epilepsy or other like type of things where they're sensitive to light. You guys are thinking in terms of like a crypto project from 2030, a project that actually cares. So I like to see that. I like to see holistic thinking and, kind of what I like to call systems thinking, where you're thinking of like the effect and the effect and the effect down chain versus just the immediate what's going to happen next. That is a sign, at least in my mind, of maturity and also intellect in a different way than what we might think of. So I appreciate that. So I'm just going to end with that. And again, thank you for your wrap as well. I'm just going to give one final one here since I just popped in with that piece. You guys heard it here, right? This is a fantastic project. We always try to bring the best to Pythagoras. Can't tell you how many are rejected because we don't want to bring you guys junk. This is definitely something to keep your eyes on. So whether you invest or don't, I would highly suggest joining the Telegram, deciding for yourself, deciding if you're going to contribute in the fair launch, or sorry, the pre-sale starting tomorrow, but definitely something to keep your eyes on. So again, thank you, Cypher, Crypto Knight, Helen DeFi. You guys have been fantastic, great names as well, and hope to have you back soon.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Cheers. Till next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.